If you follow sports, you probably remember the federal investigation into college basketball back in 2017. This was a big deal. Coaches lawyered up, universities lawyered up, subpoenas went out.
Today's arrest should serve as a warning to others choosing to conduct business this way in the world of college athletics. We have your playbook.
10 men, including the assistant coaches, a shoe company executive, even a suit maker, accepted plea bargains or were convicted at trial. But there's this crazy subplot to the whole thing that revolved around this pivotal operation in Las Vegas that was at the core of this case. This was not some low-key undercover operation with FBI agents lurking in a van or that kind of thing like you'd see in a TV show. This was super ostentatious, super over the top, sort of like your dream weekend in Las Vegas, but taxpayers paid for it. The investigation was codenamed Ballers, with a Z. The FBI took over this investigation in November of 2016. They started running surveillance and operations all across the country, and eventually in May of 2017, they introduced this undercover agent who went by the name of Jeff D'Angelo, and he eventually started meeting with Christian Dawkins, who was what you would call a runner. He worked for a big sports agency and recruited clients to sign with that agency. Dawkins wanted to start his own agency. Dawkins had a lot of contacts, a lot of connections, kind of an insane number for a kid, if you will, who was only in his 20s. And Jeff D'Angelo appears, if by magic, with tons of money and wanting to fund this whole deal. Jeff D'Angelo kept hitting on this idea of bribing college coaches to steer their players to sign with this new sports agency.
I would like to develop a network of coaches that are on our payroll that we're controlling. It's almost like a pseudo guarantee that they're going to come back and sign with us.
Dawkins does not want to bribe coaches. He just doesn't.
He just want to be Santa Claus and just give people money. Well, fuck, let's just take that money and just go to a strip club and just buy hookers. Just to pay a guy just for the sake of paying a guy because he's at a school, that doesn't make common sense to me.
He thinks the money's better invested giving directly to parents or kids or their handlers.
And I respect that if you're telling like your honesty, if you don't think that's, you know, the best approach, but that's what I'm doing. I mean, that's just what it's going to be.
Jeff D'Angelo really wanted to meet college coaches. I mean, he really wanted to meet college coaches to a point where it was maybe a little weird. Christian Dawkins had suggested Vegas might be a place where that could happen. In late July of 2017, 4 FBI agents flew to Las Vegas. Scott Carpenter was the lead case agent. He was running the whole operation. They rented a gigantic penthouse suite at the Cosmopolitan Hotel, like 60 stories over the Las Vegas Strip. It was stocked with tons of booze. The safe in the room was stuffed full of government cash to bribe coaches with. These coaches go in and out of the room over a period of 2.5 days. And all this is captured in horribly grainy video from these hidden cameras. Of the 10 coaches who went through this room and an 11th coach who met up with the undercover agent at a cabana at the hotel, 5 of them got cash. The FBI thought they were bribing coaches. And while 5 coaches got money, Dawkins ended up pocketing a large portion of it. When the final transaction's completed at the cabana, everybody's ready to leave. But then a waitress tells one of the FBI agents that the money they paid for the cabana is actually a food and beverage minimum. So they decide to spend the afternoon there, and they end up eating and drinking their way through it. Over the course of this afternoon at the cabana, Scott Carpenter drinks a 5th of vodka and a 6-pack of beer. At least. He is absolutely drunk. Somehow he's able to return to the penthouse suite with the other agents, get cleaned up. They've just completed this super stressful, super intense operation. And it seems like, by all accounts, it's been a success and they want to celebrate. Before leaving the penthouse, Scott Carpenter grabs $10,000 in cash. Then Carpenter and the 3 other agents head over to the Bellagio Hotel and Casino. They end up in a high rollers lounge. The 3 other agents sit down at a bar, and Scott Carpenter sits down at a high-stakes blackjack table and starts playing blackjack with government money. So the details start to get sparse here. even with all the court filings, there's still stuff we don't know about this. But he's playing about $700 a hand, maybe a little bit more. He loses the first $10,000 that he brought. He talks to the undercover agent, and for whatever reason, the undercover agent gives him his undercover money too. And so the end result is, after these 2 to 3 hours are over, he's lost at least $13,500, all government money. So this is already a crazy story, to have an FBI agent gambling away government cash during an operation. But things got even stranger, perhaps, when the agents returned to New York. Carpenter wasn't fired or suspended. He didn't have to give up his security clearance or his gun or his badge. He was removed from the case. In his performance review that was filed a couple of months after this happened, the words were glowing, really. There's just a paragraph or two that mentioned that something didn't quite go right in Las Vegas. What sticks in your mind is the rating he got. He was rated successful. Last August, Scott Carpenter returned to Las Vegas to be sentenced. He had been fired by the FBI months earlier after pleading guilty.
5 years ago, I made a terrible and stupid mistake. I lost my dream job in public service. I disappointed and embarrassed my wife, my parents, and my friends. And I let down my colleagues in the FBI and everyone else who believed in me.
The judge sentenced him to 3 months of home confinement and ordered him to repay the money he lost gambling. This is a point not to miss. Scott Carpenter got a misdemeanor, while the 10 defendants, the men he helped investigate, all received felonies. I'm still staggered by how much we don't know about what happened. We don't know how much that operation cost or the broader investigation cost. Scott Carpenter declined to speak with us on the advice of his attorney. The FBI didn't respond to detailed questions about Carpenter's conduct. We don't know what became of the other 3 agents who were in Las Vegas. The investigation ripped apart lives for these assistant coaches. They lost their jobs, of course. They were blackballed from college basketball. They struggled to find work. They wonder how long they have to keep paying the price for what they did. And they're saddled with felonies, something that will stick with them for the rest of their lives.